Bray?
Trudy.
Where is Brady? Where's my baby?
Trudy.
You left her. You left her behind.
Trudy, you saw.
You took me away from my baby. You kidnapped me. Take me back. You had no right. Do you not know who I am? I am the Supreme Mother. I am the Supreme.
Welcome to Series 3, Episode 17 of Conversations on Eagle Mountain, a podcast about the tribe. I'm your host, Lance, and joining the podcast panel today is Liz.
Hello.
Sabine.
Hi.
And Maggie.
Hi.
With episode notes done by Matt and myself. So Series 3, Episode 17. The screenplay was done by Harry Duffin. It was directed by Janet Stubbins. And the episode synopsis was read out by myself. The rebels argue over what to do with Trudy. While in the mall, the Guardian settles on a scapegoat for her escape, and the mall rats worry that their involvement will be betrayed.
Sorry, I'm sorry, I don't know what this means, but this episode had me laughing the whole time. Make of that what you will.
No, we're saying the same.
Yeah. We are all on the same page.
I mean, I was going to start by saying, you know what? Oh god. Right, so the episode starts. I'm going to have a little mini rant. Episode starts with Ellie just coming out of the cage nonchalantly while these unchanged, unwatched Morats are just having a huddle, talking about everything in plain sight, braiding each other's hair, and it's just ridiculous. I found the whole thing ridiculous. Like, why aren't these Morats just walking through the sewers and walking away? Why? Panel, why? Why?
I don't think...
Because they're too dumb to find their way out. Malnutrition does that to people, right?
They're back at Liz.
The levels of suspension of disbelief. Okay, I mean, they're just... There's just no barriers, no reason for them that they can't escape. There's just none. Zero.
Well, how else is Hex going to get mad that he just brought back Trudy?
Yeah. You know, it's... besides, the mall is nice and warm. It has food. Sure, there's a couple of fruitcakes, but, you know, they're used to Tyson and Trudy, so... Yeah.
Oh.
The hair braiding scene.
They do seem pretty comfortable.
Braiding scene.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't.
At least when Jack was still around, they had to do stuff, and it was scary.
I'm trying to figure out what was the point of Ellie getting in the cage. I thought in the last episode she was meant to get there so that if a Chosen saw her in the cage, they would think it was still a Supreme Mother.
Yeah.
But the fact that she just casually leaves and the Chosen are just nowhere to be found.
What was the point?
What was the point?
And the epic error in that. I mean, Ryan bolted that cage door in the previous episode, yet Ellie doesn't have to unbolt the cage door. How?
I don't know.
I don't
Magic.
know. Made no sense. Yeah, I thought she was supposed to be the imposter, like pretending to be Trudy for as long as she could be in the cage, but no, just walked out. Don't get it.
Maybe Luke just told one of the other guards, yeah, you know, just stay away from the cage, because, yeah, there's an imposter in there, but she's pretty and blonde and I want her, so, you know, stay away from that one. Just let her go.
They were all too distracted. That's all I got.
I have absolutely nothing. I didn't even try.
Like, Harry Duffin, I'm so sorry. You had to pick up these pieces and you couldn't do anything with it. It was just...
They gave him nothing to work with.
Yeah, no, I feel so... Sorry.
Her escaping like that is one thing, but the hair braiding.
Oh, stop.
The whole scene the whole setup is so dumb. It's ridiculous. You can't take it seriously. You don't feel any fear for these guys at all. You're just like, my suspension of belief went to go get milk and cigarettes and hasn't been back for a really long time. Yeah, I got nothing. I got nothing for you.
Oh no.
There's nothing. This is silly.
In this way, they deserve to be captive if they're that stupid.
Pretty much.
Listen, yeah, no, they seem awful comfortable where they are.
Just look at the level of competence of their guards. It's
Bro.
They're there because they wanted to be there. They just didn't want to do with Salene and fully go over to the dark side.
I don't know why none of them would try to get out, especially when Casey was planning on leaving. And why wouldn't they be like anybody else who wants to go now let's go? This is so dumb.
I just want to why couldn't one person, just one line of dialogue to explain why they're not running right now? Wouldn't it be cool if one person was like, hey, you guys, the guards all are gone. The sewers are unguarded. Why don't we just make a run for it and then just come up with some half-assed excuse why they can't? Just anything. Acknowledge the fact they're completely unwatched.
Just the simple fact of, okay, all the entrances are locked down now because apparently Trudy escaped, so,
they should have been locked down after the attempt on the Guardian's life, but apparently the sewers, they don't know about it.
They don't know about that giant green door.
Trudy never told them about that exit,
It's like that hole in Jurassic Park at the last scene, and our heroes are about to be eaten by the raptors, and the T-Rex just comes out of nowhere. And it's a great moment, but you're like, what door did the T-Rex walk into the visitor center? How did he get in there?
No.
Think about that.
The door to the sewer entrance is like the room of requirement. That door only appears if you truly need to get out and should get out.
Only if the plot permits.
Otherwise, it's just not there.
That's as plausible as anything.
It gets worse when you think about where the door to the sewers is and what the Chosen have been using for that area. So it makes even worse sense.
They're literally sitting right next to the sewer door.
Sitting right there.
All the time.
They have their meetings and everything there. So
that is the backdrop.
Yeah, no. Trudy just didn't tell them where those tunnels lead because he wanted the option of, escaping with her kid or wanting her prince to save her, whatever.
Man,
it's just dumb. It's just dumb.
Harry was left with absolutely nothing to work with. There was only one thing he was able to do in this episode, and that was work with Trudy, because she's the only one who still has a compelling storyline, and that's the only place he was able to deliver anything. Everything else, he just threw his hands up in the air. Whatever.
The Bray and Pride stuff was pretty good, but
yeah, there's some Harry sprinkles here and there, but it was difficult. He had his work cut out.
It's like the Titanic, and they expected this guy to plug the hole with bubble gum and duct tape, and he was just like, "Are you kidding me? The mailroom is underwater, guys."
You went to the mall and you're telling me that all you could rescue was that fruitcake? What about the others? What about Tai-san?
Well, they weren't going to execute Tai-san. It's complicated. I'll explain later.
Can you believe that? Can you believe that? He risks everything to rescue that.
Lex and Ebony are not pleased to see Trudy in the rebel hideout, with Lex upset that none of the other Morats were rescued, while Ebony wants to parade Trudy in the streets to flaunt their victory, and the divisions in the Chosen. Bray, however, insists that Trudy is not yet fit to be used in this way. And I'm going to start with a Lex rant here, because this really pissed me off. Lex. This is Lex, who has been secretly going to have sex with his wife in the mall several times, not caring about taking anyone else as he's going to and fro, and he has the audacity, the nerve to turn to Bray and say, "Oh, you didn't save anybody else on your way out." How dare you, Lex? How dare you? I've got no time for you. Seriously. You're just there having sex with your wife. Please, don't even turn around and say you're not saving anybody else. Come off it.
I think that says it all.
That's it. Yeah, no, I think that's it.
Oh.
I couldn't think of a dumber line of dialogue to have him say.
For real, like, how could you even make him say that? It's just so ridiculous to come out of his mouth. Like,
You know what makes it worse? Now, they've not shown a conversation with Lex asking his wife to leave the mall with him. The only person who actually had that conversation with Tyson was Bray. When Bray brought Ebony to the room, he said, "Come with us, Tyson," and she said, "I'm needed here." Okay, Lex and Tyson have yet to be shown him trying to talk her out of leaving the mall, so it makes it all the worse. We don't even know if he's trying to get Tyson out of the mall.
No. Listen,
he just wants her there for sex.
He likes
Well,
the
that is
thrill.
what she's there for, yeah?
Oh my god.
The danger of it all.
Oh, sorry.
She's out, and she's with him all the time. I don't know if he's prepared. They didn't really get a married life.
These two could literally go for walks if they wanted to. That's how often he's there.
Yeah.
Heck, he could have, being in those robes, he could have put chains on her and just taken them all. He could have put chains on Morans and escorted them
All
out.
of them!
Easily. He could have saved some people easily. That's not even a question.
Jeez.
And he just turns around like, you didn't save anyone else, bro. Shut up, Lex.
How many robes they could steal by this point and just have the Walnuts walk out the doors?
Don't they wash the laundry? You want to know what? I liked season 3. I liked the Chosen storyline up until this rewatch. And now I'm like, how, why, how, oh man.
Why did we never notice the plot holes before?
Oh, we noticed.
It's just worse now.
We just didn't want to remember.
Honestly, when we ask, I've noticed so far, whenever we've asked people and they've said like the Chosen storyline's their favorite, this is the one caveat they all seem to say. I like the end of season 2 with the Chosen and the very beginning of season 3 with the Chosen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody says the same thing. And I'm like, you know what? That is a very fair assessment of the Chosen.
Yeah. Well, you think it's this well-oiled machine. You think that he's got everything.
You'd think that he has ram skills, but he doesn't.
Right, he runs a tight ship, and then you see quickly, it seems like after they gain control of whatever it is they gain control of, that he starts losing his mind. Like, you really see he's crazy. It's not that he's a genius, and maybe he is a genius, but he's crazy. And it just kind of ruins the facade for me, that he is this mastermind.
In general, I can understand why the Chosen fall apart once he's taken over the city. When you think about how the Chosen were structured, it was a very isolated cult community. There were no outside influence in the Chosen. He kept them separated from any other form of thought. And people got his individual attention to break them down. Think of what he did to Trudy. He literally took her away from everything and kept her locked away, sequestered, and broke her down. But since coming to the city, we see they don't even keep their own novices away from outside influences. Nobody is given that kind of attention. So there's no real conversion, no true conversion for people who are like, oh yeah, I'm joining the Chosen because I believe in the cause. Everyone we've seen join the Chosen are just doing it because they don't want to die. They're trying to protect somebody, just that's it. We've not seen anybody who was like, I genuinely believe in this. You've convinced me. All we've seen is resistance. So that at least makes sense why the Chosen fall apart. It's like this stuff where they really fall flat, and it's like this is all you needed to really focus on, and you drop the ball so hard on this, And
on the same subject, what do you think of the Resistance's ideas on what to do with Trudy? Do you think it was a good idea to try and parade her in the streets and announce like the divisions of the Chosen?
I don't know.
No, no.
Honestly, I don't think that
Question-
would have helped because the Guardian would have instantly started a smear campaign against her.
I mean, it would. I just don't see how it could have worked yet. Like it's too soon.
It could work if Trudy was more mentally stable.
Well, yeah, but like the way that the Ebony and Lex want to parade her through the city is different than the way that
Yeah,
it's different.
they want to show their power.
Yes, they want to parade her through the city in a sense that she's a prisoner, she's a captive.
Mm-hmm.
Bray wants her to get well so that she can help them.
Yep.
But yeah, I think that it was smart for Bray to want to send her away.
I don't think their plan would have worked with Trudy, just to be honest. Like, I get what...
No, probably not.
I just don't think it would have worked if they paraded Trudy through the streets. I don't think that would have been enough to make the Chosen be like, oh no, they got our Supreme Mother and now we have doubts or something. I don't think that would have worked. I'd get it if they had captured Jaffa and were parading him through the streets, but even with all the people who worship Trudy, I just don't see that being a breaking point for them, for the Chosen.
I think it would have made them annoyed more. It wouldn't have made them lose belief. It would have made them get angry that how dare they take our Supreme Mother from us.
Yeah, but I don't think it would have anything to do with like Trudy per se, it would be more in the sense that they weren't able to
Just
do
symbolism.
their sacrifice back to Zoot, give her back to Zoot. They weren't able to complete that ritual, and that's what it is to them.
Mm-hmm.
So like I think that there would be some annoyance, but I don't think it would be enough to really do anything. It's just not a smart move.
I feel like it would have emboldened the Chosen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely, because Jaffa is still in the right state of mind to turn it all, to flip it in some way, because he's good at doing it.
I mean, and there's no way they could have safely paraded her through the streets anyway. Like, the Chosen would have attacked. It would have been a disaster.
That's crazy.
I mean, maybe if she was in the back of a Jeep and they could speed off when they needed to.
Right?
Otherwise, I don't know how this is going to work, guys.
Yeah, and at this rate, she would run back to them anyway.
Right.
Just to get back to
Are you
Brady,
planning on parading her through the streets, guys?
tying
All she
her up?
wants to do is get back to her baby. Come on.
Right, and she would. If she saw the Chosen, she would try to go back to them.
Yeah.
See, now I'm trying to picture the 6 of them, like those 3 and like 3 of the, Gaians they've got with them, just skirting through the streets with the poor chained up Trudy. You don't actually want to be seen because then you'll get caught. And then it's like, so what's the point of this whole charade? I don't get it, guys. How is this supposed to work?
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole point. It's not.
Ebony's acting like Lex's idea was bad. And it's like, Ebony, have you thought through
Ebony-
yours?
Come on, if it was up to Ebony, she would have just put Trudy's head on a spike somewhere to show, look, this is how we deal with evil.
I think Ebony's smarter than that, though.
Yeah.
Like,
She wouldn't
No.
want to make Trudy a martyr.
She don't sound like it in this episode.
I mean, I know. Not until Bray says something, and then it's, oh, well, Bray is right. We
It's
know.
like,
Ebony.
because
We
she
know.
suddenly remembered, oh yeah,
Oh yeah, I like this guy.
I kind of got a connection. Okay, we can't kill Trudy
Oh,
yet. I'm trying to get back with Bray.
I gotta, be sweet. No. That was a quick flip, too.
It's what good would killing Trudy do? Even if, let's say, she
Right.
didn't care about Bray, even if she was like, whatever, screw
Yeah.
him, and like the Chosen were already going to kill her.
That's why I don't think Ebony would do it. That's why I don't think that she would do it.
You just did them a
Because-
favor.
Yeah. You did what they wanted.
But yeah, that girl really needs help.
Yeah.
Bray sure has a point with that.
No, and it was smart him sending her, to Amber. I think it's gonna do one of two things. Like, depending on, because we don't really see, like how it is when she first gets there. But can you imagine this hysteric Trudy just wants to get back to Brady, almost dead. Amber's alive. Here she is. Like, does she even know that Amber's alive?
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Okay, good.
Because they had
But
on
still,
the day of Dell's death, they had that lovely conversation.
yeah.
Amber, but you're dead.
Yeah, well, we're going to talk about a little bit more about that decision in a little bit. But before we move on, I want to talk about pride a little bit in all of this, because it kind of annoyed me when Ebony was like going like, oh, outvoted 2-1 here. I'm like, well, hold up, is Pride not involved in the decisions here?
He would represent the ego.
He kind of instigated this whole thing, by the way, and it's like, how come he hasn't got a say? That kind of annoyed me. He's like taking it, not doing anything.
He should have gotten a vote. I mean, they wanted him to have a vote before the discussion was had whether to save Trudy or not, and Pride said, "Look, I can't have a say in that matter because I don't know her, I don't share that past." Yet he made his choice when he went to help Bray.
I mean, he represents the Guardians. He should have a vote. How can he not have a vote in this?
Yeah.
It just
No.
doesn't make sense.
Just chalk that up to Ebony crafting the reality she wants at any given moment. And she can already see that Pride has sided with Bray. So as far as she's concerned, he's not one of us. His vote doesn't count. And I just, that feels more like, you could argue that's just an Ebony. Her reasoning is that, well, when she needs his vote, when she feels like she could win him over, then she includes them as a rebel leader. But at this moment, she can't use him because he clearly has sided with Bray by helping him get Trudy out in the first place. So
by helping Trudy.
That in her head, she's just like, well, he's not one of our leaders anyway, so his vote doesn't even count. Like that just sounds like an Ebony sort of thing. So it's like,
I mean,
his vote isn't in my favor, so.
I would have gone along with that, yeah, it's an Ebony thing if he had piped up about any of the situation, but this whole episode, he's just passive, he doesn't say anything.
He is very passive,
viewpoint on any of this, and he just goes on with what Bray says. It's like, well, I don't know.
I can at least give him the part that he leaves, the conversation to go help Trudy, to take her away from that situation.
That's because Bray says it. It's like he hasn't got his own viewpoint. He should have a vote, a decision. They're like, no?
Inconsistent with how much say Pride has in this at all, to be honest. They have been inconsistent since the start. He's almost like just a passive advisor on the side who's the voice of reason. Whenever one of the leaders is going too far in one direction, Pride will step in and give a gentle word or whatever he has to say to get the leaders back on track. And so this again just feels like Pride, his level of investment in this rebellion isn't that high. He's here because Amber asked him to be here, and that's as far as he cares. So Trudy's gonna die, and Bray's like, you gotta help me. And he's like, sure, why not? Like maybe she don't deserve to die. I'll help you, whatever. But it just seems like Pride doesn't care either way how this goes, as long as they're doing something so that when Amber gets back, they can clean this up and then he can go home. That's how Pride is coming across to me. Like, I never really wanted to be involved in this war that much, but I thought maybe it'd be better for my tribe if we got a handle on this ahead of time. And then Amber left me with these people, and I'm just a custodian until she comes back.
He shouldn't have proacted this war in the first place then. I mean, if you
exactly
get involved. He's the one who pushed everyone into it.
Amber was like, why did you bring them here? Just send them on their way. And he was the one who talked her into it.
Yeah.
Now he's like, crap. Pride is a man regretting all his life's choices. That's where Pride is.
Hashtag no regret. Okay, that's what we got.
I mean, yeah, I know he's going through things, but come on.
Because I'm not sure Pride would have cared if Bray hadn't come to him and asked him to help him get Trudy. Like, I don't know if he would have cared either way.
That he's just caretaker right now. He's playing housekeeper.
Yeah, and that's something Pride likes to do. Take care of people who can't help themselves. I mean, he helped a broken Amber. Now he gets to play with broken Trudy. Yeah, I don't mind Pride choosing to just, step out of that situation and just leading Trudy away from it. Because someone had to.
Just like, what is the plan? Just trying to keep you people from imploding. I am just counting the days till Amber comes back.
I'll just be over here. Let me know when you're ready.
Every day, he's just looking at Bray going, I can't believe she chose this guy over me.
Yeah.
That's Pride.
How is the divine child?
Oh, she's fine. Very well.
Luke tells me you would like to look after her permanently.
Oh, yes.
It is a very important position. Not to be entrusted to just anyone.
Well, I've been looking after her for a while now, and for a supreme mother, Trudy wasn't one bit maternal. And Brady really loves me.
And how do you feel about her?
Oh, she means the world to me.
So you would like to look after her very badly?
Yes. Yes, please.
Good. So which of your friends called Zoot is here?
So, meanwhile, May confronts the Morats about Trudy's escape, and they question whether she actually wanted her to, while Salene is very quick to point out that she wasn't involved. Later, the Guardian questions May about what happened, using her desire to be the one to look after Brady as an incentive to make her talk. And it then doesn't take long before Casey is called to speak to him. Yeah, Maggie, go for it. What do you think of May?
Okay. I don't really have much nice to say, right? Like, but we already know that because she's not a Mallrat. She never has been a Mallrat. As far as I'm concerned, she never really is part of the thing that the Mallrats are supposed to represent. So, I'm not surprised that she flipped like she did. But she put a lot of things in motion. Whether she realizes it or not. I can't.
I'm sorry, sweetie. So you kept getting cut out, so I was just getting things like, screw May.
That's good.
Okay.
That's basically.
And I was like, that's perfect. That works. I was like, you know what? I think we got what was important. That was what was at her heart.
Listen, it's no surprise. It's no surprise that she acted the way she did.
This conversation is more comical than it ought to be. The tone is so bad. I don't know if Barry himself was just like, there's no way I can fix what you guys have set up and the road you've taken these characters down and the illogical sense of how so many of them are. So it's almost like he was just poking fun because this comes across as a parody. Like, I can't take it seriously, but it's hilarious, like almost in a good way. Like, just the way everyone's reacting. I mean, Salene is hilarious. How fast she is to be like, I had nothing to do with it.
Also, she sucks too.
Right?
Yeah. Instantly going, wasn't me?
Just the fact that they're all right there having this conversation, completely unwatched over, completely unguarded, not concerned about being overheard whatsoever, despite what they were literally just involved in. It makes me laugh. I mean, this was supposed to be a big deal. This was supposed to be the Supreme Mother's execution. Why are there no other slaves or novices here to witness what was supposed to happen? I love that it's just the Mallrats conveniently here. I love that every guard in the vicinity left the prisoners unsupervised with the Supreme Mother. The scene, it's ludicrous. That's what it is. Like, there's no reasoning behind this. None of it makes sense. It shouldn't be able to play out the way it's playing out. But some of the conversations are a little funny. You know, the Mallrats just admitting their guilt straight up to people they're not even sure they could trust. That's funny. I
don't care who you are. That's funny right there.
I understand that they know Patsy is on their side, but they don't know about Salene and May. They don't trust Salene and May, and they're basically, Alice is openly admitting, yeah, we had something about it. Are you going to say something? Like, why did you say something, Alice? Like, why don't you just guys play dumb? I don't get it. It's like you want to get caught for doing this. So stupid.
Are they that sure about Luke saving all of them?
They're so dumb. They're just so dumb. This is supposed to be a secret. This is a secret, and you just openly admitted that you had something to do with it to people you don't know if you can trust. And then you have the nerve to be like, oh no, what if they come get us? Like, maybe they wouldn't have. You kept your mouth shut and just played ignorant.
Maybe you deserve it.
Seriously, how hard is it to be like, holy crap, what's going on? You know?
What? Yeah.
Yeah, like, what? I don't know. What the heck? Why would
I was over here. I was looking for Zoot.
Exactly. Why would I save Trudy? She's the reason we're in this mess. Just anything.
Exactly. And to May of all people.
To May of all people.
To May, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what kills me. I'm like, and you see the look on her face, like she's just, May, no. Alice is silly. Calling her girly.
This conversation shouldn't be happening. May should have waltzed in and been like, asked her questions and made her accusations. And the Mallrat should have been like, yo, what? Why would we do that? Why would we put ourselves on the line for Trudy? We were sitting right here, like with you guys, we're just doing what we've been told to do, even throw in hey, I was looking forward to seeing her lose her head. I'm still mad at her.
Yeah.
You have more freedom than we do, May. Maybe you had something to do with it. You're the one who had something to gain, just anything, but not.
See, you could have wrote, sorry, Harry.
But no, I'm just going to admit it was totally us. Don't you say anything. Getting moron.
I normally love Alice. These last few episodes, I think, are killing their final brain cells.
I was actually just thinking about that last couple of weeks because I was going back and re-listening to episodes in season 2 and how much we loved Alice and we were gushing about her. And I specifically had said the great thing about Alice is that she never really does anything that makes you turn on her. And I'm like, why would I say that when season 3 exists, right? And then I was like, wow. Season 3, I blinked everything bad she did out of my mind. That's how bad it was, and I just erased it from existence.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe it's because it's so out of character for her that it's just like, nope, never happened. I don't know what you're talking about, right? Alice was in the mines the whole time. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Yeah, it's such a ridiculous conversation. I'm laughing because I'm like, this shouldn't even be happening. None of this should be happening. But I do like the conversation with the Guardian and May. I think it's mostly the performances. I do like that. I think those two are always really good together. And Laura's doing a really good job in her performance. And so I do like that this is how Casey's found out. I just think that works.
It makes sense. Yes.
Right. I mean, the Mallrats literally just admitted that they had something to do with this. So, And
we know May's character.
Yeah, so I do like the way that's set up with, him buttering her up, and then, then tell me and that she's genuinely like, okay. And then it cuts. I thought that was actually kind of cool kind of setup right there. One of the things that Harry was able to salvage.
But that one little line, May to Luke, though. Yeah, thanks for giving me this job. If there's ever anything I can do for you.
Oh, well, yeah.
Looks like
surprise.
No thanks.
I'd like to keep my boots, thanks.
He's just staring at her with, I think the Divine Child needs you more.
It's not a bad scene. And cutting straight to Casey being dragged out. I like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I wasn't involved, so you don't have to worry.
Good.
You must be happy for her, though, right?
Yeah. Yeah, of course I am.
Well, can you try and look it? The others might get suspicious.
Yeah, what'd you make of Salene and the exchange with Ryan here?
Ryan is so done. Sassy Ryan is everything.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah.
He is
absolutely
so done.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't even pretend anymore. He's not even trying anymore. He's like, nope, this is where we are.
Nope.
You wanted me to be here for the baby. I'm here for the baby. That's all I'm hanging on to is freeing my offspring from your womb.
From your...
It's like the bit of spirit that Alice used to have just jumped over to Ryan.
Seriously, that's where Ryan is. He is just like, he's so done. And I did like the sassiness of this conversation and the way he calls her out. Like, okay, I'm not gonna like villainize Salene for being concerned about Ryan. like that's fair. That's a totally fair thing for her to be like, please say you weren't involved because I don't want them to take you away. Of course, at the end of the day, we know the only reason she doesn't want him to be taken away is for her own needs.
Exactly.
But it's, okay, that's a fair question for her to ask, but I love what he says, like, dude, could you pretend that you care that she got away? Could you pretend that you're cool with it? Because
I don't even care if you are, but just act like it.
Like, jeez.
Please.
Just friggin' pretend. that you're happy she's alive.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little obvious.
You weren't really supposed to go over there, but you did. But now you got to pretend.
Yeah, come on, give it a shot, hun. You're so good at lying. I was like, ooh, the passive aggression is strong in this one.
So good.
I love that. Yeah.
For this episode, Ryan is the mole rat saving grace.
Yeah.
His eyes rolled across the fountain, like he was just so. It was like because it's that moment that you start to see through the narcissist's like their actions. You start to recognize their behaviors, and you can see that's where Ryan is with Salene. He now recognizes a lot of her patterns of manipulation, and so when she comes, he doesn't give her the benefit of the doubt and think, oh, she's just worried about me. He's like, she's just worried about her. Like he's just seeing past a lot of her behaviors now, and he doesn't have the energy or time for them. That he gives her a token, look, I didn't do anything, so you can stop worrying your pretty little head over quote unquote me, even though we both know it's not me you're actually worried about, and goes back to his painting. You know what I mean? Like that's where he is, you know, and I can't exactly feel sorry for her.
Nope.
Feeling sorry for Salene is just not an option.
Like she created this dynamic between them, you know, and you can only treat someone like garbage for so long before they're just like, you know what, I don't want to live in the dump with you anymore. He is basically reluctantly sitting on an egg just because he needs to get the chick out, you know, to like hatch the chick. That's the only way. It's not because he enjoys sitting on an egg, not because he's having the time of his life. It's just because it's necessary so the chick can hatch safely. And that is what he's doing with Salene. She is carrying his child, and he is just doing what he needs to make sure that baby makes it into the world safely. And then he's going to run.
He's taking the baby and he's going.
He's going to run. And I cannot blame him for that.
Yeah. I think Ryan actually is the one mole rat that has a valid reason for staying behind, you know?
Yeah.
And the thing is, if he knew he could get her out of there safely, he would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, even if he had to tie her up and gag her, if he thought he could get her out safely, he would do it. He just can't. If he tried to escape with her, he knows that she would give up the ghost. Like, that's where he is.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know, he knows if I actually suggested to her, like, let's run away together, she would get us caught because she would fight me on it. You know, that's where she is.
She would scream as loudly as when she saw Bray.
And that sucks. Like, to be in that headspace with your partner, like, I really feel bad for him knowing that. Just knowing that, looking at his wife and knowing that she doesn't want to leave these people. And if I tried to get us out of here, she wouldn't come with me willingly. And we'd get caught, you know? Like, that's got to put you in the worst headspace. Like, he knows he's lost her, you know? And he's just hanging on.
Just to not lose the baby.
Just to not lose his child. Maybe he'll get her mother back on the way, but right now he can only focus on that child.
Thank you. I was just so worried about Brady.
They won't harm her. She'll be okay until we sort this mess out.
I don't know who to trust anymore.
You can trust me. You know that.
I don't deserve it. I have done some very bad things.
Hey.
I have. I know.
Trudy, this isn't the time.
But when I'm restored as Supreme Mother, I'll reward you, I promise. You can have anything you want. Anything at all. Just name it.
Trudy, listen to me. I want to help you, and I can help you. But you must do as I say.
So yeah, panel, what do you make of the portrayal of Trudy and her conflicting views?
Antonia ate this scene up.
Dude. I got chills. I cried a little bit just because I felt that, you know, her desire to be with her, to be with her child.
When she says, you had no right to take me back to my child.
Yeah.
You didn't, you know what I mean? Like, there's no joy in the fact that she's alive. And
none.
It's like, if you've reached this point not realizing that everything she has done is to be with her child, there's no hope for you. Like, it's just, there's none, you know? Like,
and to keep Brady safe.
That's all it's been, you know? And even at this moment, instead of feeling like, oh, wow, they saved me from dying, all she can think about is my daughter. You left her behind. How dare you? How dare you? I am the Supreme Mother. You take me back right now, and even though the only thing that's waiting back for her are the gallows, she doesn't care. Take me back to my daughter, and then, even when she calms down, she's still not in her right mind. She's just like, I thought about it and I appreciate you saving me. And when I'm back, when I'm restored, I'm going to reward you. And I thought Dwayne did a good job of the look on a person's face when you realize someone you love has gone crazy. Like, wow, I didn't realize it was this bad. I didn't realize, because even Bray apparently didn't realize that Trudy had been truly brainwashed. You know what I mean? He thought of her like the other mall rats who were falling under the Chosen. They're just trying to survive. That's how he saw it. Trudy was just trying to survive. And now he's looking at her and going, oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Oh,
a lot
damn.
worse. Yeah, like, it's a lot worse than I thought. And then you see the way he's talking to her. He's all gentle and like, okay, yeah. You'll be able to do that. That's great. Thanks. Oh, no.
I think that just shows us, that Bray does know how to handle Trudy.
Yeah.
He's learning. He's definitely learning.
Back in the day, it was, he's all she had. And now he's just got to learn to handle her with a different type of glove, Yeah.
Yeah. Antonia, she killed this.
Beautiful.
All the other clownish antics going on.
Yeah.
She was MVP of the episode. I bet she was so happy when she realized that Harry wrote this. I also like the fact that it makes you realize that, now, obviously, Trudy didn't want to die, but even when she was first convicted, first sentenced, and she's talking to May, she even says then, it's not me, it's Brady. And it's like, it really gets to the heart of how a parent or a caregiver feels. On a personal level, we don't want to die, but it's really our children we're concerned about. Like, who will look after them when I'm gone? Who will love them? Who will protect them? Who will keep them safe when I'm not here to do it? That's your worst fear, Trudy exemplifies that beautifully. Like, no, she doesn't want to die, but it's Brady she's concerned about. Her daughter not having her to be there and to do everything for her. And who will ever treasure her as much as me if I'm gone, And I did think that was done well.
And who will keep that baby from through everything Trudy went through? She knows what kind of life there will be for Brady, what type of people will raise that little girl if she ain't there. That's terrifying and heartbreaking.
And it's that sort of thing that never goes away, no matter how old your children get. Even when they're full adults living their lives, your fear is still there. Who will look after them? Who will be there when the emergencies crop up and they need something? I won't be there to help them pick up the pieces when life hits them hard. And, it doesn't matter if you're 100 and your child is in their 70s, you'll still feel that way. It'll never go away. You want to go before them because that just feels like the natural order of things, but you worry for them regardless. And, you see that sometimes, like when you have to say goodbye to a parent, the most reassuring thing you can say to them is, Mom, Dad, I'm going to be okay. You can rest now. I'll be okay. You don't have to worry about me. I've got things figured out. And because that's what they're thinking about. Are you going to be okay when I'm not here? And I did think they did capture that really well with Trudy. It's always been about Brady.
And briefly, because we touched on it a little bit earlier, but hearing that Scout has reported back from Amber, Bray asks Pride to take Trudy to her to protect her from Lex and Ebony, unable to trust himself to return if he took her himself. What do you make of that little conversation between Pride and Bray there?
I guess it makes sense.
It does make sense, but Bray's definitely far too trusting.
Yeah, I think Bray just thinks, she chose me over her, so Amber would never, would she?
I mean, he's putting Trudy first here, and what else is he going to do with Trudy, with her being this broken?
Yeah.
She isn't safe with the rebels. He knows that. So it's like he can't just lock her in the room. He recognized Trudy actually needs help. Help he's not in a position to give her. He's actually recognizing I can't protect her. I can't help her. And let's be pragmatic. She isn't any use to us in this state. So what can I do? You know what I mean? Like, if I keep her here and try to, I don't know, give her therapy in my downtime, I'm still going to be looking over my shoulder constantly. Nobody can trust Ebony. You know, I can't trust Lex not to do something about this. I'll have to sleep next to her just to make sure she's okay. I didn't even know Lex was sneaking out to sleep with his wife, for Pete's sake. You know what I mean? Like, I can't protect her. I can't watch her 24/7. I can't get anything done if she's here. She needs to go somewhere. These two can't get their hands on her. The Chosen can't get their hands on her.
And she can't run off. Yeah.
Right. You know, like, what could he possibly do with her? It makes sense to be like, I need to send her away. So who can he send her away to? He doesn't know the rest of the Gaians. He can't just be like, take her back to your Gaian camp. You know, the only person he knows who he could trust would look after her and keep her safe and help her is Amber. And now that the scout just showed up so that they know where Amber is, it's a logical decision. You know, for one, and he's not thinking about, I want my girlfriend. He doesn't even think, send her a message from me. He's just like, I need you to take Trudy there. You know, and I can't go because I won't come back. I won't do it.
I'm just grateful that once in life he's thinking of what's best for Trudy.
I mean, that's not fair. He took care of her after the virus.
Yeah, but you know, after everything that's happened, I'm glad he's just realizing that this girl needs way more help than he can ever give her.
I mean, I'm sure he would have liked if he had someone else he could ask other than Pride. Like, I'm certain he wasn't thrilled about sending his competition back to their shared girlfriend. But
shared girlfriend.
What other choice does he have? He knows he can't trust himself to do it. He can't send Ebony or Lex. He doesn't know any of the other Gaians enough to trust him with this. He knows that Pride, above all, is honorable. You know what I mean?
Yes, there it is.
And he would not hurt Trudy.
Right. He'll make sure she gets where she needs to get safely. And that's what needs to be done. That needs to take priority over all my insecurities, the fact that my girlfriend and I don't trust each other. This needs to be done. So it's just like, it's actually it's a pretty selfless decision he's making, along with being a practical one, you know? It's Bray actually doing what needs to be done. So bravo, I'm going to give you a gold star, dude.
Yay!
It rarely happens. High five.
I like how when he said he had to be a leader, he kind of, made a little face.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what Amber told him years ago, or ages ago.
Because Bray's never wanted to be a leader.
Never.
He's never wanted to. He's just been forced into it.
He even does the little head shake.
He was forced to be a leader because Amber, quote unquote, died on him.
Reluctant hero over here.
Yeah.
Always.
And now Amber's gone again, so he has to be the leader again in her absence.
I do love that he didn't say something like it's what Amber would have done or what someone. He's like, this needs to be done.
Thank you, Harry.
It needs to be done.
It just needs to be done. Yeah, I'm glad he had that little moment of self-reflection. Like, you know what, I can't trust myself. If I went to Amber myself with Trudy in tow, we wouldn't come back. I would stay out there. We'd make a new life. You know.
Bye, guys. Good luck.
I'm glad they wrote that in for him because he makes sense. What's Bray fighting for here?
Hey, we'll get Brady back eventually.
Yes. At some point, the Chosen will get tired of playing with their favorite doll, and they'll hand her over.
Harry knows how to write the flawed hero.
Yeah.
And he nailed it. I was like, I just love Pride's look on his face the whole time.
Yeah, he's so confused. He's like,
really?
Dude, I don't think I can trust myself. Why are you trusting me with this?
I mean, you could see there's a lot of emotion going on, and I love it. There's a part of him that's like, you're sending me on a side quest, an escort mission, pretty much.
Escort mission.
Like, and you can see that the only thing making him do it is like, Amber asked me to stay behind, and Bray is telling me to do this, and you can see even Pride's thinking, this could be my one ticket out of here. Yeah. And Then you can see the slight worry, like, how much trouble is Trudy gonna be on this trip? Are you just shoveling her onto me? You know, this is a lot not being said behind his eyes, and I think Nick does a good job with that.
Yes,
Like, I get to leave the city, which is awesome, but I have to babysit.
I get to go to Am
the whole time, and I could totally sabotage you, dude. You know that, right? Bride's like, oh yeah, I'm aware.
I'm aware.
Bride's like, damn it. I have to be a good guy. It's my fatal flaw. Oh, and Lex and Ebony. Whatever. I don't care.
Whatever.
I don't care.
Yep, I don't care.
I don't think either of them made a single good point through this entire episode. I don't give a crap what either of them think about what needed to be done. Okay? They're the biggest hypocrites on the planet. I don't care.
Except for Salene.
Like, shut up, both of you. And that's why everyone's ignoring them. Just go whinge in a corner together.
I mean, you noticed that their last reaction was just, oh, bro, what have you done? You sent your ex to an ex. You know what I mean? It's just a stupid conversation. Like, they didn't have any point to just, oh, why did you send Pride to Amber? Ooh, you know what happened? It's like, shut up.
It was the only dig they could take at him.
That's all they could do, yeah.
It's just
they're schoolyard bullies. That's all they are.
It was the easiest way to annoy him.
Yeah, that's all they had.
That's all they had. They had nothing else more solid than that. So, okay, whatever you two.
Like apples? How do you like them apples? It was nice though seeing Bray get the better of them, because usually he just doesn't, and I did like the moment where they were left with nothing.
Yeah, I love when he goes, she's with Pride. Do you think you can track him?
I hated that stupid gotcha moment from Lex. What was that? What was that?
What was his plan? What was his plan?
After he said gotcha, I need to know.
He just threw the covers off. Gotcha. Like, what were you thinking of doing?
Like, seriously, what was his plan? Sneak into the room, announce your presence. If she had been there sleeping, how did he think this was going to play out?
Right.
Wouldn't she call for help, scream, anything? Was he going to wrestle her out of the base? Like, what would you do? What were you thinking? So stupid.
It just stood out for me. I was like, Lex, what are you doing that for?
Now, if it were Ebony would have snuck in there very quietly and
put her hand over her mouth.
Yeah, and be like, hey, listen to me. Just like she did when she tricked her into going to find Brady.
Yeah. Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, she would have found a way to be like, hey, we're going to go back and get your daughter. You know what I mean? Or something.
Yeah.
But Lex's, I don't know. He was apparently going to wrestle Trudy. Idiot. And Trudy could take him. Come on.
She could. Oh.
Yeah, there was no way Lex was going to win that.
No.
He would have scratched him to hell.
How dare you touch?
I really would have loved to see like an introspective moment for Lex to realize he's wasted all these opportunities to get his wife, and now he's lost any chance of getting her out because the mall presumably will be under even heavier lockdown. You know,
so that would have been nice. Yeah,
that would have been nice. Like, I've been trying to talk.
Bray's fault.
It's Bray's
Maybe
fault.
that's why. Maybe that's why he blamed Bray, and he had the audacity. He had the utter audacity. He feels guilty.
Even a moment where he's just like, I've been trying to talk Tyson into leaving with me. You know, I've been trying to find a way to get us both out of there or something. But he's done nothing to get her out of there.
Nope.
We haven't seen a conversation with them about it. And we've seen no effort from him to figure out how to solve the problem of, well, she wants to stay to protect the others. How can I get the others out? So it's like everything you're saying, Lex, is moot right now.
Mm-hmm.
It carries no weight. You were the one who could have saved your wife on the beach.
Yep.
Instead, you saved the very man you're blaming right now.
Exactly. Like, what the heck?
Is that some irony or what?
It always comes back to the beach.
That stupid beach scene.
In all the way.
Everybody's got brain damage. That is the only explanation. That little bump and their helmets didn't protect. Okay. I always thought that season 3 was one of my favorites. I am confused.
You guys have made me sad now. You're reminding me he's going to be gone, and when he comes back, he's bringing with him three annoying characters. I'm sorry.
The thing about season 3 is it just other seasons tend to season 1, even if it may feel like a slog, it's got a lot of it's still just good. It's a solid season. Season 2, it may start kind of weak, but it gets better and better. The writing, the story, the ball that's rolling, you know what I mean? But season 3, what's so upsetting about it is that it starts strong and then you literally are just watching as it gets weaker and weaker and weaker. It doesn't get better.
It doesn't.
It doesn't get better. You're just watching the writing get lazier and lazier, and everything's just coming unraveled and making less and less sense. And it's always in the midpoint of season 3 where I'm just like, I think I'm gonna go back to season 1. Like you know what I mean? Like I stop feeling as invested in the world and its story, and I kind of just want to go back to some good writing and some good characterization where people make sense again, and I can care, because I just stop caring as season 3 continues to go, and it doesn't pick up, which is really sad. It doesn't pick up.
Yeah,
it just keeps going downhill. And you know what?
Let me get season 4.
The worst is that it's like the last of the good writing.
Right, that's it. Like, that's the whole thing. And then here's season 4, guys.
Oh yeah.
God. It's gonna be fine, you guys. It's fine. It's
where are we? Episode 17. Oh my god. Okay. we can do this, guys. Yeah. See, in my memory, season 3 is a blur, but I've got some horrible standout moments. I know we're gonna see very soon. It just doesn't get good. I can't think of any good moments from here on out. Honestly,
no.
Few, but it's like in this episode, a good moment are the conversations Trudy's having. You know what I mean? Like there are bright spots of moments, but it's like the story itself is just like, you know?
I mean, what about that moment when Bray accuses Amber of being
Brilliant!
pregnant?
It's a brilliant moment! Yep. But it's just...
give you guys some hope.
It's just a moment!
Yeah, just those little sparks, but then the rest is like embers.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to know what? Okay, we all don't really care for season 4 or 5, but maybe this rewatch will decide we love it. Who knows?
In comparison,
other things have happened.
Maggie, that's never gonna happen.
I know. It hurt my brain even saying it.
I'll just sit here thinking
I'll try,
what happens.
Okay? I'll try.
I will try, but it's not gonna happen.
Pew pew. I'm just trying to be optimistic.
I appreciate it.
Hey, you know what, Maggie? I'm with you. I'm trying to be optimistic because I have never made it through season 4 all the way through. I always give up. You know what I mean? So I think I've made it through the season from beginning to end once in the last 20 years.
You're in for a treat.
So I've always given up halfway through or something like that, a quarter way through, and gone back to the beginning of the show. So part of me is looking forward to taking it episode by episode and not being able to escape. You know what I mean?
Not being able to escape. Being held hostage.
Maybe I'll watch the episode.
Maybe I'll find something. You know what I mean?
What, a reason not to record a couple of episodes so you don't have a season?
Yeah, I'm gonna sit this one out.
No, you're all gonna be chained. We're gonna watch it together and suffer together. Sorry.
What do you think?
Well, Casey's not known for his...
Why would Zoot choose such a lowlife to reveal himself to? Why not me? I'm his voice on Earth, the guardian of the cause. There must be a reason. I can't fathom it.
So, you believe him?
I've known for some time that the Great One would return soon, when I had completed his work. But what was he trying to say? And why to that worm?
So yeah, panel, despite what the other Morats thought, how did you think of how Casey handled the interrogation?
That kid is a pro.
He's so good at what he does.
Amazing.
He's like the one perfect mole rat right now. Yeah, I love Casey. Sorry.
Am I the only one who didn't care if Casey had given up everybody?
Yeah, no, I would have been like, yeah. That's based, he could have done.
I mean, I wasn't concerned that he would, because Casey has only given up people once, and that is literally because Top Hat threatened to set him on fire.
Which is a valid reason.
It is a very valid reason. And that's the only time this kid has ever given up the ghost. Every other time, no matter what, he's taken the fall.
And even then, he did try to save them all.
He still tried to save them all. He was like, I'm lost. I can't find my way back. I'm nervous. Right? Everything.
I'm nervous.
You threatened to set me on fire. I can't remember my way home. You know what I mean? Like, that was the only time.
And even then, he, did his best to save Sandra.
So I was not concerned that he would turn them in, but I was like, you should. Like, I don't care if you do.
They would deserve it.
They would deserve it at this point.
I truly love this quick thinking, though. Wait, you're mad at me? No, I really did see Zoot. Really?
Casey, like, this kid, so quick on his feet. So quick on his feet. It actually pissed me off listening to Alice and Ellie and all of them talking about, like, you think he's going to turn us in. And the way they're talking about him made me angry. Because I was like, when has this kid ever turned coat on anyone? When? You know what I mean? Not a once. You have not been able to get Lex on the things he's done because Casey had his back every time.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. Like, he has always been willing to take the punch for whoever was involved in the scheme with him or did it themselves. He still always covered them. You have no right to talk about him this way. You deserve to have him turn you in, but he's too good for that.
Yep.
They didn't deserve his protection.
Snitches get stitches. Casey would never.
He never.
Nope.
It's ridiculous how they keep having a go at him because he never has.
Yeah, I'm tired of them making such a deal out of it too.
And it pissed me off because I had seen this one first before I'd seen much of Casey's past. So the way these guys talked about him, the first time I saw this episode, I was a little concerned. I was like, oh boy, they talk about him like he can't be trusted. They say it in every episode. Casey can't be trusted. Casey can't be trusted. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I was like, ooh, he might turn them in. But then when I went back and watched the other seasons, I was like, how dare you? How dare you talk about him that way? And I love the Guardian's reaction. Like, my boyfriend talked to you? What to you? Man?
Dare he? I have even made new clothes.
Fantastic, actually. Yeah.
I got a makeover.
I got a new outfit and everything. I even got rid of her, the slag who, betrayed him and stuff. And he's still not talking to me.
And he chose you.
Yeah.
You lowly worm. Like, he pissed.
Oh, yeah.
Jaffa.
Oh, yeah.
Jaffa, when are you gonna just accept that Zoot would pick anyone over you?
Yeah. He just aimed that into you, honey.
It's just not in the... Yeah.
My favorite part is when he's talking to Luke about it. Like, I don't understand. And he's like, no, I need to talk to my boyfriend. I need to beg him to pick up the phone. I'm going to explode him with text. Please, Zoot, talk to me. Oh my gosh. I mean, picking Casey to be his Oracle is like the most extreme version of Facebook stalking I've ever heard.
Right?
Give it up, Jaffa. Zoot literally ghosted you, dude. It's a nice insight into how in love with his own delusion Jaffa has become, that he would even believe that Zoot talked to Casey. Like, that's how desperately into his own delusion he's falling.
Yes.
And the relationship he created for Zoot, that he will latch on to anything that, maybe Zoot is trying to communicate with him, and like, Zoot would approve that I tried to get rid of the harlot. Like, oh boy. So I do like that, for the plot, if that's where they're taking it. Like, he doesn't go crazy out of nowhere. You see that he is falling in love with what he's created and losing himself to it. Because, an earlier Jaffa wouldn't have bought this at all if this is what Casey had told him. He would have been like, Zoot doesn't talk. He's dead. Come on. He doesn't talk to anybody. He's dead, bro. Right? Yeah, I pretend he's talking to me, but it's all BS. Like... Come on. But this Zoot, he's so far along the rabbit hole of just in love with what he's created that he wants to believe it, and because he was able to construct this reality for himself, and now he's starting to believe it.
Yeah. I said, this is we started seeing a few episodes of him, that spiral starting. And now he's just latching on to anything that can keep him close. Does he probably really thinks that KCC genuinely believes it?
He wants to. I mean, he's becoming exactly what he was talking about to Ebony. People will want to believe in something. And he has always wanted to believe in Zoot, and he always wanted to believe that he was Zoot saw him, that he was important to Zoot. And it's possible these two never even had a conversation, but it's what he wanted to believe, and he was able to craft. He just built up a little fantasy world for himself. And then look what he was able to accomplish with his fantasy world. And then it's just you slip further and further down that rabbit hole of believing your own delusion about something until you can't even tell it's a lie anymore because you've told it to yourself so many times. You're rewriting history, rewriting your reality around you. He's been able to accomplish so much with his delusion. Why wouldn't he start to believe in it?
That's fair.
Sorry, my brain just keeps going back to KC. It was just such a brilliant move on his part.
I love how Casey pretends that the information is being dragged out of him.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's not ready to give up the ghost, but then he lets Jaffa threaten him, and then he's like, okay. And it's like he knew what he was doing. He was so clever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he's so good at it.
He's so good at what he does. Yes, he's
so good.
Good.
He knows how interrogation tactics work. You don't give up all the information right away. You pretend it's being pulled out of you.
Think about all the times he was probably, in juvenile hall or something.
Yep.
I'm just going to pretend that I'm scared of your nunchucks.
Yes, the nunchucks. I'm telling you. I laughed. I couldn't. I can't
Sorry,
take
Salene,
it
it was just so
seriously,
funny.
sir. I picture him in the mirror practicing, his sick moves and
I still say they're a relic. It's what Lex was holding when Zoot died.
I was rolling out of the bed laughing.
See, good.
Where did those come from?
Right. Sir. No, it does not. It does not.
Lex's room.
Yeah, it does not present the image that you think it does, sir.
No.
But we had evolved to bow staffs in this reality. We're not allowed to have real weapons. What is this?
I just cannot get the last time we saw those nunchucks out of my head, because that was, the last time I remember seeing them was when Zoot died.
How would he know? So it's so weird that he has them.
It is weird that he has them, but I guarantee no thought was put behind this.
Because that's not.
Don't give it any meaning. There was nobody on the set was thinking. Nobody was like, "Oh my gosh!" Think of the symbolism behind. Nobody. Nobody.
None. He needs a weapon. Yeah. What weapon do we have on hand?
I refuse to give it more meaning than, "Hey, this is a cool prop. This will make him look tough." That was all it was.
No, it doesn't make him. It doesn't. No, as Lance said earlier,
that must have been what it was, though. That Jaffa thought, "Oh, those will make me look tough."
Yeah,
well, for sure that's what he thought. But
they work in movies, so surely this will impress a little boy.
I wouldn't be surprised if the writer and the creator forgot where those nunchucks even came from.
Right.
It was just a leftover prop.
It's the fans who are like, "Oh my gosh, those were last seen the night Zoot died. It must mean something." Like, nah, no, it don't. No, it don't.
No, it's not even scary. It doesn't.
It means nothing.
It doesn't do what they want it to do. It would be a lot scarier if he had nothing in his hand, and he was, no, sir, this is not. These do not belong to you.
I will say this. Now, I don't know if this is purposeful. Again, I do think the one thing that season 3 does well, is the way a cult leader thinks and the way they devolve. So I want to give them some credit here. Watching Jaffa go from somebody who was frightening simply with his words and his lack of physical action, the things he could get done, he didn't have to move. All he had to do was speak. And he was quite frightening at what he could accomplish with that. In the silence, the quiet, he was so reserved in how he handled things. So when he raised his voice, it actually was a little like, "Oh boy, you've upset him." to where he's becoming now, he's less frightening. He's not that scary. He's not the enigma you thought he was. And as he's unraveling and having to resort to trying to be physical to scare people, I like that because it's ripping away the mask and the mystery and showing us what he actually is, and giving an eye view of how some of his followers might be seeing the shroud be pulled away as well. You know, for example, Luke seeing this isn't the guy I thought he was. He's just another human. He's just another kid struggling, trying to figure things out, just as confused and scared. And so I think that's actually done well because, like we said, he's not intimidating in the scene. Casey is controlling this interrogation, you know, and yet Jaffa is the most physical we have seen him be, and we're not afraid of him.
Yeah.
You know.
You know, that's a good point.
I think that might have partially been the goal, though, you know, to have Jaffa think he would be threatening this way.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like that is something that might have been purposeful as you break him down to where he will end up. Casey for the win.
Yeah.
I give the gold stars this episode to Trudy for her performance, Bray for actually doing what needs to be done and living up to everyone thinking he's a leader. For once he actually was one. I give it to Ryan for his sassy side eye.
Sassy Ryan.
And Casey.
Yes.
Yep.
Everybody else can take a flying leap.
Ooh.
Well done, Harry.
Yes, so sorry, Harry. We love you. We love you.
salvaged quite a bad
You
hand.
did a wonderful.
We see your efforts, Harry.
He even gave us that tiny little Casey and Patsy moment.
Yeah.
Yes,
Sorry.
that's true. That's true. 2 gold stars for effort.
It's like the gladiators of Rome. We who are about to die through the rest of the season, we salute you, Harry.
Yes.
Come back soon.
I mean, just does security ever improve anymore from here?
No!
After these 2 massive incidents, does anything?
One time.
Oh, the one time when he said something.
The moment when they need to get in and get out, when the bomb is about to go off.
Yeah,
That's when
that's the
security
other
is
time.
suddenly working. And people have
That's
to knock holes through
great.
walls.
Yeah.
They could have left so many times before that crucial moment, but... And I still don't even know if the sewer entrance is guarded.
I don't know, but the basement's. No,
To this
Doesn't
day,
have
it's
a
still
basement.
unguarded.
It's still unguarded.
To this day.
Oh my
At
god.
least in the beginning,
Yeah.
they put in enough effort to find, you know, Jack crawling through the air vents.
I'm
That's
telling you,
true.
those first few episodes, they
Was
did
strong.
a good
They were
job.
good,
They were
yeah.
strong. Like, they can't get out of here. And then after that, it was like, wait a minute. I think they can. I think they can get out quite often.
I think people can get in too.
It's seriously, this is just a sit-in at this point.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Get out of our house. We're not leaving.
Squatters.
Okay, cool. That brings Series 3, Episode 17 to a close. Thank you very much to the panel. And if you take part in the future episode of the podcast, please just send us a message on our Facebook page, on our website, or on our Instagram, thetribe.co.uk. So we'll see you next time for Episode 18. Until then, bye.
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 Bye.